There is a definition for the word playbook, and it means a document defining one or more business processes, workflows. And our next speaker is Laura Juvonen from Technology Industries in Finland. Welcome, Laura.
Thank you. Se on klikkeri tuossa. You know what, Jyri? I don't have a grey suit, and I'm actually doing headstands quite often. So hi, I'm Laura from Technology Industries of Finland. And we're all here today to talk about the future, our paths to the future. This photo, it's taken by a Japanese photographer. And the little girl in the photo, she's my little girl when she was about 4 years old. And a couple of years ago, we all traveled to Japan, to Nagasaki, where the photographer is from. And we actually found out that she's quite famous in Japan. And the photo has been in many exhibitions. It's one of her most popular photos. They made postcards out of it. And when we were walking in the streets of Nagasaki with her, people came to speak with us. They went, "Oh, this is the little girl in the photo." Our future is global. And the paths that we have to the future, they are global. And we've heard today quite many things about how the world is changing. But what really makes the difference is what you do about it. So I will just spend a couple of minutes now to tell you about the tools and the playbook that we've created together with Citra and Accenture team. You can download all of the material and the tools from this website, circularplaybook.fi. You can just Google it, put that down. It's free to use. It's a very extensive package, especially for manufacturing industry, and contains a lot of case examples and, as said, practical tools to help you out in designing your business models. The change, really, it's enabled by technology. Today we have many more opportunities than we had yesterday, and tomorrow we'll have many more. And what's really in the core is then the customer, the value that you are able to create. That's the starting point for circular economy thinking. We worked with about 50 companies, SMEs and other players to create the playbook. And the playbook now, it has different parts that are structured in such a way that they can help you through the process when you start thinking about your business models and how you're going to develop those. And it also offers, for each of the sections, it offers practical tools and kits that you can use to do the development work with your company and with your partners. With this time, won't go into very much details. It's an extensive package, but what's in the sort of core thinking of the package are these different business models. Jyri already said very good examples from, for example, about the product as a service. Today, many companies are starting to sell air or light or lifting as a service. And this creates incentives for the company to really think about the value that you create and minimize all the inefficiencies in the process, because it makes business sense. And I really believe this is a sustainable way to do it, that it makes sense for all parties, that it's also economically sustainable and it's sustainable from the environment perspective. When you look closely, the playbook also gives you the tools to break down your current value chains, take a deep dive into those, look into existing opportunities that are currently untapped and where you can start making the difference. It doesn't mean that you have to change everything at once. You can definitely take one of the sub sort of models and start working on that with your partners. That's probably what most companies are doing. Then we also took a dive into where it can all stop or what it depends on. And quite importantly, it's about people. It's about internal organization. This was the number one reason that the company said that's keeping them from making the change. It's their own organization and their capabilities and culture. That's something you can definitely change and work on it. Second most important thing is your partners, the ecosystem that you're working with. These obviously the circular economy business models are such that usually no company can do that on their own. They need partners, they need their suppliers, their customers to join. But if you put the customer and the value in the center, you're sure to get your customers along. Then financials are important as well, because if you think about, for example, instead of selling quite expensive equipment, you start selling the value, like the air or light, lifting. That obviously affects quite many things. It affects the finances quite a lot, risk sharing, all of that. So these are really the aspects that you should look into when moving on. Finally, there are many ways how you can start this. For example, Business Finland has launched a new, rather extensive program, Bio and Circular Finland. That's a good opportunity to start looking for partners for your projects, also financing. And we're working Technology Industries of Finland and Sitra together also with Business Finland, organizing workshops for companies who have downloaded the playbook. So you can come there, get some coaching, how you can utilize the playbook, and obviously get coaching for your ideas and how to proceed. So from my behalf, let's have a good discussion here and please make use, go to the website, download and see what kind of ideas you get from that. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Laura.